Everybody's telling you that AI OFM is a scam, or they're either trying to sell you some $1,000 course or mentorship on how you can start. Lately, I've been talking about a free platform, AI Creator Marketplace, that provides you a creator for entirely free. And today I'm going to be introducing you guys to the founder of AI Creator Marketplace, a AI platform that has generated over $2.5 million gross with their creators just this year alone. Steven, feel free to introduce yourself. We'll go ahead and dive into everything.
Thank you very much, Tyler. I'm Steven. I founded AICreatorMarketplace.com. I started building the platform around a year ago. So far this year, we've done $2.5 million roughly gross revenue with our AI creators that we've given away completely for free. And I also personally run a business as well with these AI models, and I've done quite well this year with them. And it's going quite well. We've given away thousands of models, all completely for free. We provide all the education, also completely for free. And I'm just excited to be on this channel and get an opportunity to discuss AI creators with Tyler and go over everything with you guys.
Yeah, this is exciting. Steven, can you talk a little bit about why you're providing everything for free and so much value for free? Everybody kind of finds it to be this like too good to be true opportunity. And I think a lot of people are skeptical of that.
Yeah, it's a great question. And I outlined this in the landing page video on the website. I try to break down the math, but what we do is we take an extra 20%. And so we provide the creators and the site takes 20%. And then what we do is take an extra 20%. So it's almost like we're an agency working with like the model, right? So if you were in the regular OFM space and you had a model that you were working with, you would have to split the profits with the model after the site, for example, OnlyFans takes 20%. So you would be left with 80%, you would split it with the model, and that would leave you with 40% to work with. The model would get the other 40%. But in this situation, we're dealing with AI creators and we're providing them to you. And so for that service, we're taking 20%. So this leaves you with 60%, which is actually 20% better than if you were working with a regular creator. And so all the value that we're providing, we feel is an equal exchange of value relative to that 20%. And so relative to the market, that 20% is not that much, because if you had to deal with a real girl, you'd have to go through all this headache of getting her to make content, of dealing with her. And with this, you get everything completely ready for you to go. You get all this amazing education. You don't have to buy a course or anything for it. It's completely free, provided by me. And it's not really low quality. I put a lot of effort in that education. Like I said, I've personally been running models for years now. I've made many millions of dollars with real creators and now millions of dollars with AI creators. I've seen both sides of the industry, and it's absolutely a no-brainer that this is the obvious path forward. It's the best thing that you could possibly do with your time if you're going to be doing social media or in the girl business.
Absolutely. And I think that the biggest takeaway from this is like the regular OFM space, you have to deal with emotional creators, you have to deal with maybe invoices not being paid, you have to deal with content generation, you have to deal with all these different variables. And it's kind of nice with the AI OFM stuff that you can generate content you need to market your creator for, a couple bucks. One thing that I would like to talk about before we dive too deep into it is like a lot of people, like the first thing they want to know is like, okay, what's the base cost to run a creator? So like if you had to give like a base margin of what it takes to be successful, cost wise to run an AI OFM creator after you're initially in and given that creator, what would that look like?
That's a great question. I think it varies on the person. Now, we've had people from every spectrum of life come in and run creators. We've had agency level people like Tyler, myself, where we're trying to run a massive multi six-figure per month agency, and we've been able to achieve that. We've also had people that are literally completely broke. They were former VAs, no money. They're from a third world country, and they've come in and they're making $25,000 a month. And the strategy and the amount of money that needs to be spent for the VA versus the agency is completely different. But the reality is, since we're providing everything for free, you can decide how much you want to spend. Now, if you're willing to spend money, even a small amount of money, I think just a couple $100 a month is enough to get you off the ground and getting you to that first $5,000 to $10,000 a month. What would that look like? Well, in the education, I outlined several strategies that I think are high quality strategies for number one, growing on social media, and number two, converting users off of social media. Now, the cost of doing this is one, taking the photos and turning them into reels. And so even though we provide everything for free, we don't provide the reels. We only provide the platform for you to kind of turn the photos into reels. That's how all these AI creators are, making reels and putting them on things like Instagram or TikTok, Twitter, etc. They're using these video, photo to video reel generators. And so the cost of that per month, if you have one model, will probably be $30 to $40, maybe $50 to $100 if you're trying to run multiple pages. I also recommend using an AI chatbot strategy, which will cost you $50 to $100 to set up and roughly $30 to $50 per month of continued maintenance to run. You pay on a per combo basis. And so that would be a secondary cost. And then finally, I recommend boosting on Instagram. And this costs, as low as $2 per day. I mean, we've had a lot of success just doing a couple dollars per day. So when you add all that up, you're really only talking about a couple $100 initial investment to really scale up your model. From there, it's about your effort every single day. Are you making high quality content? Are you putting effort into the social medias every single day? Are you doing everything in your power to, run up the traffic for this account? And, if you have no money to spend, for example, you have absolutely no money, well, you can sign up for free and you don't have to do any of those things, right? So we have education that I provide that literally breaks down all the strategies that you can do. If you have no money to, make Instagram reels, to boost on Instagram, to using AI chatbots, there's always a way to make money. And so I tell people all the time, I mean, if I had no money, okay, and I was completely broke again, I had no opportunity to make money with what I'm currently doing, I for sure could take these models and make 50,000 a month within 3 months, 100%. I would go work my butt off and I would do all the strategies that I outlined in there to start bringing in revenue. And then I would take that revenue and reinvest it. And I go over all of that in the education. It's extremely detailed.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing that a lot of people are also asking is this may be a little controversial. I don't want to put you on the spot, but like people are using FanView, right? And I think the biggest competitor in the AI space with OF creators, AI OF creators, is FanView. And here, personally, I believe FanPlace sits above that. And I think maybe you directly, the developer and one of the founders, you'd be able to answer directly the key points of like, okay, here's what you can get better here versus here, if that makes sense.
This goes back to the idea of an offer being free. What we see a lot is there's a lot of people kind of selling courses, and then those people are affiliated with FanView, and that's totally fine. They're allowed to do that. But we don't want to have this like barrier to entry for our platform. We want people to come in and not just come in and run AI creators, but actually come in and run a creator that they have a legitimate chance of making a lot of money. So for us, if we're going to be, as AI creator marketplace, if we're going to be providing all these creators, we want to work with a platform that, number one, that we trust, number two, that has a high quality product. I've been working with the FanPlace guys for 3 years now, and so I know them extremely well, and I know the platform inside and out. You get everything on that platform, right? So you get your own CRM. It's called Super Chat, and this allows you to do all the custom chatting that you want. I've been using it for 3 years now. It does the job extremely well. We have extremely advanced mass message system called the Composer built in. We have extremely well built out systems in order to allow you to actually reach the subscriber in the inbox on FanPlace. Okay, we have things like pinned posts, which are allowed to be paid on even paid accounts. There's lots of value that FanPlace has. The entire site is extremely clean, and not just that, but there's all these additional things that are being built into the site specifically for AI. Number one, image generation. And so for your model, you don't just get a free model with some content. You have the ability to invest some money into that model, and you can generate as much SFW or NSFW content as you want for your creator, and that's built into FanPlace. So your model, once you get it and you're approved with your ID and everything, it's custom coded into your FanPlace account, and you can generate as much content as you want. So you never have to call up your model, your real girl, and say, hey, I need you to make an Instagram reel for me. It's completely on you now, And so the cost of doing that is relatively nothing compared to the prior cost, which was a ridiculous amount of money and time if you were dealing with a real girl. That's number one. Number two, we have all the photo to video generation tools built in directly to FanPlace. And soon we're going to have NSFW photo to video built directly into FanPlace, which means that we're going to be the only platform in the whole world at scale offering that solution. And not just that, but we're providing the best photos, And so with what some people don't understand with AI is that everything is about the base photo, and that's how you get the highest quality result. And so we're providing the best photos, and now we're going to have the best tools. So that's why I think FanPlace is really good. I also think in general, just the idea of a free offer and lowering the barrier to entry for everyone is exactly what we want. We want everyone to have an opportunity to learn AI creators, and we don't want to force you to buy a course that teaches you some whatever method that's not going to even exist a year from now. And then from there, you're going to have to go and spend money and time yourself to build the model. And what we're seeing on these platforms is a lot of creators that never pan out. And so for me in my education, what I'm teaching you how to do is not just take a creator and start running her, but actually run the account in a manner that gives you a high probability chance of success. Hey, this is how you set up a FanPlace profile to actually convert well off social media, not just upload 3 or 4 photos because that's all you were able to generate with the whatever image generate. So I would say that that's the primary difference between these other platforms and what we're trying to achieve over here. And we have thousands of success stories. It's been going quite well for us, and so we're going to continue doing this.
Absolutely. And the next thing I would have to ask you is like, can you touch on the fact that everything with this platform is pretty much in-house to where you have all these different tools, you have all these different features, right? My favorite features are Launchpad, where you have the landers, the management section where you can have all your different tracking links. Could you touch base on just how all that stuff is also in-house as well? I think that's something that's really important as well.
So I mean, for me, I originally built all of these tools. I'm not referring to FanPlace, I'm referring to all these additional tools you get with the creator, which by the way, I built things like Launchpad, which is a marketing SaaS you get for free and I teach you how to use. You get Lander, which is, if you've seen capforallmylinks.com, that's mine. I built it. And originally I actually built it for myself, but long story short, you get free landing pages and they're beautiful and they work well. We have, thousands of users using them. There's absolutely no problem with them. You get crypto payouts as well, by the way, through my website, paywithlaunch.com, all done completely for free. All of these things were built originally for myself to use as an agency, So I'm not just someone here trying to sell you an info product. I actually run models myself. I still do it to this day, despite the success of AI Creator Marketplace. And all of these tools were built for me, Only over time I realized that these could be used by other people and would be effective for them in their business. And I actually don't charge for any of it. So I decided, let me just make everything free and let me just give as many of these creators away as possible and provide everyone all the tools that they need to be successful. And these are the tools that I use every single day. So all the millions of dollars that I've generated through Real and now AI Girls, all of these tools are exactly what I use. It's absolutely nothing different. And what I break down in the education is what we use internally every single day to run these models. There isn't this like secret hidden sauce. There isn't any of that stuff. And the reality is that as a business owner, I like owning all of my product, And with respect to FanPlace, I can speak on behalf of them. We want everything to be in one location for the user. So you can come sign up, completely for free. You can go to your fan place account, and everything that you need to be successful with your AI creator is there. You don't have to go to all these other platforms. You don't have to go to this website for generation and this website for AI video. Everything is right there for you, so you can be extremely efficient, and it's simple for you to get started. What we've noticed with a lot of these other courses is it's all over the place, right? They bring you in and you have to go do this here and do
Yeah.
this over here. And with our offer, everything is under one umbrella, and it's very simple for you to kind of get started and start making money right away. And in the history of the internet, there's never been an offer that's been free that's this easy for you to get started and start making money right away with. And so that's what that was our number one goal. We want it to be easy, we want it to be simple, we want it to be immediate. So we have users that come in and they're making money within the first few days. And I know Tyler's seen that, his community starting to see that, those results. And so that's exactly what our goal is. We want you guys making money as soon as possible, and we want to provide all the services for you to be able to do that. And the vast majority of them are completely for free.
Yeah, I can also vouch for that myself on one of the creators that we actually got marketing after like 6 days in of like manual posting. On day 6, we pulled in I think 10 paid subs. Day 2, 7 paid subs. Day 3, another 7 paid subs. I think now earnings wise, we're sitting at like $500 in total earnings, and one of those fans spent majority of that money, which has been super awesome. I also saw another small little win in the Wins channel on the Telegram. Another guy has generated around like $13 with one of his creators, and I think the biggest thing that people want to know is like how long does it take roughly? Again, it's one of those things where it's like you get out what you put in, but it's like for me, what I noticed is once you see that initial subscriber come in, it's such like a feeling of relief and motivation at the same time, because there's such this like controversial, like questionable, idea around the ability to funnel people to these AI creators.
Mhm.
So I think it's super cool to see recently, like even myself being in the OFM space, making hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars, right? It's like now
Yeah.
I'm seeing money coming into these AI creators. I'm like, holy shit, like this actually works. And the content that's being generated, I think one thing that should be mentioned is the content that fam or AI creator marketplace is providing. This content isn't just like it's visibly an AI creator, obviously, because we know going into this, it's an AI creator. Obviously, it's AI, but from, just the average Joe that just wants to see, a seductive looking girl, a lot of them aren't noticing or realizing that these are AI creators, which I think is something
Yeah.
super important to talk about.
Yeah, 100%. So I think that that's another thing that differentiates our product from a lot of these others is that, it's easy for anyone on the whole world to just go make a few photos on the internet, right? Like literally anybody can go do that. And anybody can go buy a course and use one of these, simple photo generation tools and make 5, 10 photos, whatever that, no, it doesn't matter, right? Anybody could do that. But there's a big difference between making a few photos and making a cohesive brand that's going to be perceived as a real creator that can grow over multiple years of time frame that can actually monetize subscribers. Those are two completely different skill sets. And so, from our perspective, what I want to provide is users, number one, all the social media tools that they need to be successful and have a real creator brand be perceived by the potential subscribers. Number two, lots of monetization tools that they need, and over time, complete monetization, and then gives them the opportunity to do social media marketing, right? And so, that would be, in my opinion, the difference between our offer and other offers. That other offers are saying, hey, you got to come learn how to generate the models, you got to learn how to do social media, and you got to learn how to monetize. Those are 3 completely different skill sets, and they're all very, very difficult. They're not easy to do at all.
They're
And for us, what
scattered
we want,
too. They're all
they're
scattered.
completely scattered. And so if you're the
Yeah.
average person and you only have a few hours per day to work, it's going to be really hard for you to do any of those things, which is why these people are charging money for their courses. You got to go buy their courses, they monetize you off that. Maybe they get a referral for these other sites, but the reality is that the likelihood of you making any money is not that high. For us, we don't charge anything. It's completely free. And so I only make money from this if you guys go make money. And so what we want to do is provide the actual best possible product that we can so you guys can go make a crap load of money. We want you to, right? We want you to have that success. The only way for that to happen, as Tyler was saying, is for the models to appear to be real. Okay. So some people have asked me, well, do you tell the guys the models are AI? Of course not. Of course not.
No.
You can't do that, because if you do that, they're not going to be able to build a relationship with the creator, and that relationship starts on social media. Okay. And so the brand that you're portraying, it needs to be portrayed as a real girl. Okay. And that comes from us. That's the content, right? And so we're providing you all that high quality content and all the tools and all the education you need. And from there, what are you going to do? You're going to go run a real brand. And as Tyler said, you're going to be able to convert. And so we're seeing users come in, even with very minimal social media experience, and they're getting their first subs within the first couple of weeks of running their models. We've had many extreme success stories where they started making significant money within the first 30 to 60 days. And so to me, that's an incredible time frame, because most things, like people buy a course and they do nothing with it, or it takes them months and months of time to figure out that they don't know what they're doing. The course has lackluster information, so they're out there trying to plug in the pieces. With this, there's no external information required. It's all given by us for free, and people are having extreme amounts of success with it. So that's basically my answer to that.
Absolutely appreciate that. I think another thing to mention is on a lot of the other platforms, if I'm not mistaken, the creator that you're managing or the AI creator that you're creating, they must verify the ID as like that female creator, if I'm not mistaken, versus on FanPlace or
Mhm.
AI Creator Marketplace, you as the manager, as the person running the AI creator, just have to verify your ID, correct?
Yeah, correct. I'm not 100% sure about other platforms, so I don't want to speak on behalf of them, but I will speak on behalf of
Sure.
Fanplace and AI Creator Marketplace. Our offer is 18 and above. We accept verification from all different locations. We previously had like some minor issues verifying some of these, more obscure countries, for example, like Philippines. We've solved all those issues, and so we have new verification tech rolled out. So if you're from the Philippines, if you're from any, of the African countries, Nigeria, any of these countries where maybe you've been a virtual assistant in the past, or you're trying to figure out how to make money online, you can go do this. 100%, you can go do this. We
Yeah.
will verify you. We'll give you a model. For reference, our top earning Filipino makes 25,000 net per month, roughly, maybe slightly less than that, maybe like 20,000. 20,000 net is a lot of money, I mean, especially for
Yeah.
anyone in the whole world, but especially for the Philippines, that's like turbo rich money. And he used to be a VA, and he came to our offer. He found it on Telegram, and he just got a free model. He started working, and now he has multiple AI creators running for him. He has a whole agency running, and he's just a humble guy with humble beginnings. He's doing an unbelievable job, and so that can be you, right? That can 100% be you. And so it's completely free. You just have to be 18 or older. You have to have a valid ID or passport, and you go do your verification, and that's it. Once you're signed up, you're verified, you get your AI creator. A really simple process.
Which is really cool because the barrier to entry is little to none for anybody across the world, which is probably the biggest
Exactly.
opportunity that I see with this is like you guys are allowing anybody from any part of the world to basically have an opportunity to make money online without any extra cost or additional costs up front. It's pretty crazy
Exactly.
to some of the success stories. And I would love for you to also elaborate on, just general success stories that you've seen in the last, 6 to 7 months of running the platform, just so people can kind of get an idea of like, what the actual potential of this platform has, and then also kind of piggyback off of that into what you see happening with the AI OFM space.
Sure, yeah. So the first part of that would be like kind of foreign markets is what we would call it. And we're totally pro that. Like we would love to have all of you come run AI creators on Fanplace and through AI Creator Marketplace. And we want every single person, no matter who you are, to have an opportunity to make money with this business. To us, this is revolutionary, and it's never been done before in the history of info products. And we feel the addressable market is quite literally like many, many millions of people. And we want to provide AI creators to all of them. So this isn't going to be something where it's only free for a certain period of time and then it's starts becoming paid. It's really just going to be free forever. And we're going to give every single person an opportunity to run an AI creator. One thing I just wanted to add is that we have lots of unique AI creators. And so don't just think that we're just copying all the same creators over and over again. We're having completely unique models, regular, girls, goth girls, Asian girls, white girls, brown girls, black girls, everything that you could possibly imagine. We're going to have in terms of variation of creators, different hair colors, different body types, different face types, different hair length, everything you can imagine. And so you're going to have an opportunity to run a completely unique AI creator that's beautiful, that's perfect, that nobody can distinguish from real or from fake, and you're going to have an opportunity to make a lot of money with her no matter who you are. That would be the first part of that question. The next part of that question is kind of realistic results of the offer. We have many users hovering between 10 to 30,000 per month, many users. Okay. And I would say that that's a very realistic path to get to, which from my perspective is incredible considering it's free. And there's not many things in the whole world that you can make 10 to $30,000 a month from these days. Our top line users are making multiple six figures per month. Okay. So we do have our whales, and they've been able to scale pretty easily to multi six figures per month. Now, how the offer works is we give you one creator for free. Okay. We see how you do. And what we do is we actually audit your results. Okay. And so the creator is yours as long as you're putting in the work. And we know if you're putting in the work, right? We know if you're making a Fanplace account and actually setting it up based on our education. We know if you're watching the education. We know if you're doing anything on social media. Trust me, we know everything. Okay. And so what we see is the users who pay attention to education and they go take action right away, they do the best. Okay. They start making money quickly. They're the ones that scale up. The users who don't, maybe they lose motivation, whatever, we actually take their models back. Okay. We redistribute them to new users. The models are perfectly fine. Nothing happens to them. A new person gets the opportunity to be successful with it. And so the people who actually pay attention to the education, they put in the work. We're seeing $10,000 to $30,000 a month as a very realistic target. And the higher end, multi six figures. Now you might say, well, how are they getting to the multi six figures? As I was saying, one creator is completely free. All right. And we see what happens. If you do well, we will reach out to you and we'll give you a second creator, right? So you can have unlimited AI creators and quite literally build your own huge agency with our AI creators. And we'll give you unlimited different variations. For example, we have maybe more premium niche models, for example, like goth creators. And so the more you scale with us and the more you grow, the more opportunity you get and the more money you make, right? But at the end of the day, we don't know who you are, right? So it's easy for anyone to come to me and say, hey, I'm a genius marketer, whatever, give me 10 models right now, right? But the reality is that we don't know who you are, right? So I would love for you to be that person and for you to get those 10 models. But for now, just start with one, prove you can make money on Fanplace, prove you can make money with AI creators, and we will literally incentivize you till the end of time. And so that's what I would say. Payouts are weekly, by the way. I don't know if we mentioned that in the call, but we do weekly payouts. It can be bank or it can be crypto. We're noticing roughly 80% of users are choosing crypto, and so we're happy to pay you out in crypto. We paid out, like literally like seven figures in crypto already, and so it's not a problem. It's all very, very simple. I think as Tyler can attest, to sign up and get it all set up on the crypto side and get paid out. It's just I've made a very simple process for everyone. So hopefully that answered the questions.
Yeah, that answers the questions perfectly. And I can say I've already gotten some payouts myself via crypto. So it works. You get paid. Your funds do not get held. You get paid, and you can
Yeah.
choose again crypto or bank transfer, which is really cool. Is there anything that you want to highlight that maybe we haven't covered so far on this call?
I would say that one thing that I've noticed is some people are skeptical of AI creators. Like for some reason, they just feel that AI creators are not going to be this thing. Well, let's consider crypto for a second. The way that I view AI creators is like Bitcoin in 2013. Like no one believed in it. We were right at the beginning, but some people were taking advantage and they were making a lot of money. There was this huge gold rush going on, all this stuff, and the market was kind of going like this, right? So right now we're kind of at the bottom. And like this market's going to have exponential growth. The technology is going to grow absolutely exponentially, right? The potential that you have, not just to make money, but to grow on social media where the real value is. And that's what I go very in depth in the education is that the value is the audience on social media. Okay. Audience
Yeah.
doesn't go bad. And the opportunity that you have to grow audience, premium country audience with these AI creators is insane right now. We have grown millions and millions and millions of followers internally, just in my personal agency setup. Okay. Millions, across all the social media platforms, Instagram, Threads, Twitter, TikTok, everything, Facebook, everything. It's unbelievable. Okay. The community has grown probably close to 100 million this year, 100 million this year. That would be Instagram, Threads, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, everything. Okay. It's unbelievable. That's really, really powerful. Okay. That audience doesn't go bad, right? People who've been making money from social media, in many cases, have been making money for a long time. And they've made money because they've built audience and not necessarily focused on monetization. So for me, even though I make, I do well for myself, I make good money, I focus on growing social media because I know once we have that social media, we're going to be able to make money from it for years to come. Okay. And I don't want to just be rich today in this moment or in this month. I want to be rich forever. I want to be rich for years to come. And so for you, if you can get into this market and this opportunity now, think of it as investing in Bitcoin in 2013. Okay. You have this opportunity to put your money in
That's
something
exactly what
that
I
can
said.
that can grow over time. Okay. And you be able to build your social media network. It's not going to go bad. Okay. If a year from now our technology improves, what you can do is just take that improved technology, apply it to your model, and use it on that same social media. Okay. So if you build 1 million followers, that 1 million followers is going to be exponentially more valuable a year from now. And guess what? In a year from now, it's not going to be 1 million followers, it's going to be 3 million followers. Okay. And a year from then, it'll be exponentially more valuable and it'll be 6 million followers or 10 million or whatever it is. Okay. And these are realistic things. Like we have tons of people who have come in and they've literally grown 1 million followers with the creators we've given them. Okay. And premium country followers. And so I think that that's the thing that people kind of underestimate is they look at like maybe the technology today and they kind of pinpoint these like tiny little things rather than looking at the big picture of where things are going. And 10 years ago, people thought internet dating was a crazy thing. And here we are, and now almost nobody meets anybody in real life. They just find people on the internet through things like Tinder or Hinge or whatever. Okay. And so
Yeah.
today, people think running AI creators is crazy. They think there's no way it's going to replace real creators. Well, think 10 years from now, what do you think? What do you think is going to happen? And so you have the opportunity to get in on the ground floor of something extraordinary completely for free. Think about that for a second. Imagine someone told you about that with Bitcoin 10 years ago, saying, hey, you don't have to pay me anything to learn about Bitcoin. You can go invest $500 a month into Bitcoin right now. What would you do? That's how I look at it. And so for me, like I'm investing everything I have for this. I think it's the opportunity of a lifetime. I think it's an absolute gold rush. And I think we're right at the beginning of it.
The biggest thing that I can say is for anybody that is a supporter of mine or has just been following me for a while for OFM is I personally myself was that person of like, AI OFM sucks. There's nothing that provides you what you need to be successful with AI OFM until I got on a meeting with Steven and he showed me everything. And like Steven didn't sit here and he was like, hey, I'm gonna give you some upfront sum to promote this platform. The platform sold itself to me. Like I genuinely was so bought in once I saw everything that Steven ran me through that I'm like sitting here like, okay, how can I introduce AI OFM to my audience being regular OFM? Like I was just so highly impressed by everything that I've seen. And now also getting results with my own creators has been also very rewarding. And even just more of a, what's the word, like motivation to go even harder with the AI creators and even go harder with the AI OFM space in general. And I also say myself, like now that I've seen everything, now that I've tested everything, I genuinely think that getting into the AI OFM space now is literally like you said, buying Bitcoin back in 2013, 2014. I remember I was gambling CSGO skins back then. I wish I would have been buying Bitcoin and saving it instead. Now I think we have the same opportunity with the AI OFM space, and that's why I'm getting so heavy behind, Steven, what you're doing with AI Creator Marketplace, just because I genuinely see the value. And there was nothing outside of what you showed me with the platform that made me bought in, aside from the product itself and aside from the platform itself, genuinely.
Yeah, I appreciate the kind words. And 10 years ago, I also wasn't buying Bitcoin. I was playing Black Ops 2 and or whatever the game was, roughly 10 years ago. But or MW3, whatever the game was. But anyways, what I would say is you're completely spot on with all of that stuff. And we're just focusing on product. We want to have the
Yeah.
absolute best product, the best AI creators. At the end of the day, as I was saying, social media is the real value here. And so you can go buy somebody's course that promises you the world. If they're going to provide you a shit product and you can't grow a lot on social media, it's completely worthless. And so you
Yeah.
want to be able to get a high quality product, go grow a ton on social media. You own those followers. We don't own them. Right? You own those followers, and you'll be able to capitalize on those followers for years to come.
Forever.
Like to me that there's nothing more valuable than that. Like if I can have 100 million followers on Instagram, I'm literally going to make hundreds of thousands of dollars every single month forever. It's never going to go bad, right? People are never going to stop spending money on these AI girls or on girls in general. And what I would add to that is, as the tech evolves, you have the audience and you can remonetize that audience. Okay. And so if like virtual reality in 5 years is the thing, guess what? You got a million dudes that love your model and they're going to want to go spend virtual reality money on her, right? And so right now
Yeah.
the opportunities with AI, that's going to be the opportunity for a long time. As the tech evolves, we're already ahead of the curve. We're going to evolve with the curve. Okay. And we're going to be ahead the entire step of the way, and you'll be able to take advantage of that and leverage that with us. So we're expecting a lot of people to come in and completely change their life with this offer. And we're only a few months into this business, and we've seen that already. Just people literally completely changing their existence. That's the power of AI, in my opinion, right? So I think that this is one of the very unique ways that you can leverage that, and that you can do it without spending, a single nickel.
I think that pretty much covers everything in terms of trending questions that I'm seeing, and just also touch points on some of the strong value points that your platform provides. Is there anything that you want to kind of like leave everybody with?
One thing I would like to add is that my like brand ethos, like the goal that I have, is to be as ethical and as open as I possibly can. And in a market, of info products where everybody is trying to make a quick buck and everybody is trying to get you to buy
Yeah.
something, I will be the one shining star. I'll be the one person who isn't doing that. Okay. Now Tyler is on board with us, and that's fantastic. And he's bought into that ethos as well. And so much value is going to be generated for so many people because of that. Okay. And so
Yeah.
that is my number one goal. All our education, I don't hold back. Like there's literally dozens of hours of me there yapping. And so if you want to go sit there and listen to someone really passionate
Dozens.
about social media and yap about stuff, I'm that guy. I'm in all the communities all the time. I work every single day. Okay. So I'm not just here making money and going out and doing whatever with it. I'm on the screens every single day trying to help as many people as I possibly can become successful and trying to grow this offer. Okay. I'm completely bought it. And so you can know that you're going to be right there with me. Right. So if you have questions, there are people that are going to answer those questions for you. Right. You can know that
Yeah.
if you're starting this and you don't have any education, you can know that I'm going to be there every step of the way with you in the education, teaching you step by step all my knowledge about social media. Like I said, I absolutely don't hold back. And so that's my goal, is to be that open guy, that ethical guy in the space, and just literally help people make money. Okay. I get a lot of personal value out of that. Like I feel good when I do that beyond just making money. And so I feel like this offer has an incentive structure for every single layer of the offer that makes everyone bought it, right? Whether it's me, whether it's FanPlace, whether it's the user who's trying to run the models, every single person is going to feel incentivized. And that's exactly why we built the offer the way that we did.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely amazing. And I even see you inside of, my free community dropping updates or even dropping feedback. You even place one of your support like team members inside the community to
Mhm.
answer general questions, answer any concerns, just give support. And it shows a lot, because those roles aren't, they're not cheap, and they're not just something that you can just grab out of the blue and say, hey, I'm going to place this person in your community for 24/7 support. So having that is also just really awesome from your end, and it is also super awesome for all the users right now. I think right now, my personal community is right around 650 members, which has been insane considering we only launched this like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
And
it's
I know you
crazy.
have your own community as well. It's really blowing up quick, and I think that this opportunity is something that everybody's still early to, and I think you can say the same. And I think we've already kind of emphasized that enough. I'm super excited myself to see where my creators are going to go eventually. Like, I'm not going to quit OFM entirely. I'm always going to run real creators, but I personally think that there's a lot more value on this side of the space, and there's a lot more, I would just say, beginner entry that gives people that opportunity. Even me,
Yeah.
I even told you, I'm like, hey, look, like, I know how to run creators, I know how to market creators, but there are certain parts of this where it's like it does require there's a learning curve to it, and I don't
Mhm.
want people to just come in and be like, oh, I'm gonna get rich overnight, because that's not the case. You're gonna have to go through the education. I've been going through the education, and it's like going through the education, I'm realizing like, holy shit, like this is, there's similar variations from the regular space to the AI space, but there's also, a little bit of a difference. And it's really cool that I'm having to challenge myself. And I think that it's definitely motivating. And I think it's a good experience for everybody that's trying to make money online, because it's not like this get rich overnight scheme. You don't have to pay money for it. You're not being charged anything. And I think that's probably the best part about this. I've always been somebody that, people pay for my time, and coming into this, I'm like, damn, like I think the free value side of this is just, it's so much more rewarding, is the best way to put it, for sure, because you just see all these people coming in, no barrier to entry, making money, being able to be a little bit more successful, and maybe not even have to do what they're currently doing with their life. So what you built is really impressive, and I hope that everybody watching this takes advantage of it. I truly do.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I think you're spot on with everything. I appreciate the kind words.
Yeah, absolutely. And is there anything that you want to kind of like plug in the video, or like anything that we want to just drop in like the bio or the
We'll just
description
say
for people to
that
join?
that check has a link down there that will take you directly to AICreatorMarketplace.com. We've recently kind of gone through an update with the variations of creators that we've launched. And so when you go there, you're going to see all kinds of amazing versions of creators that you can go and build these unbelievable brands with on social media that can just absolutely make piles of money, you know? And so we've tested a lot of these types of creators internally. And so I would recommend just going and starting. Don't be afraid, you know, just go start, give it a try, go choose the model you want, apply, and go get the process started and start working through the education. You know, it's just an absolutely amazing opportunity. And you know, what can it hurt? It's completely free, right? There's no harm, no foul, right?
Yeah,
So I really
there's
think that
nothing to
you're going to be
lose.
pleasantly surprised. Yeah. And one final thing is that we have like a very good referral program as well. And you'll be able to kind of refer your friend and get a percentage of their business. And so if you
Yeah.
come in, I think you'll probably find that it's a very cool offer. Maybe you're going to want to tell a lot of people. And so I just wanted to pull out that as well, just to let people know that we have that. And Tyler will have his own referral program for his community built out. And so you'll be able to utilize that and refer people. And so it'll help everyone involved, you know? And so we've done quite well with referrals. And generally speaking, what we found is when people come into the offer, they may be a little skeptical at first. And then once they start, they're like, damn, this is the best thing ever. You know, I got to tell all my friends, you know? And so, you know, it's definitely something that I'm proud of. And I want to make sure everybody knows about that.
Yeah, no, you've done a fantastic job. And I think the biggest part to emphasize on, to really wrap this call up and this interview up is you guys have nothing to lose, man. You really have nothing to lose. You're not paying money. You're not paying $500. You're not paying $1,000 for scatterbrained information. You get everything in one place. You get it all for free. There is absolutely nothing for you to lose. And you couldn't be in a better position with a new business opportunity than to have nothing to lose. Like, truthfully, I'm personally, I like living in the mindset of I always have nothing to lose because it keeps me motivated and it keeps me, taking risk. And I would say for you guys watching this, if you've ever been skeptical, if you've ever been, hesitant to start something like this, there's been no better opportunity. You guys have absolutely nothing to lose. And that's pretty much what I'm going to leave it at. Other than, like, obviously you guys, if you did enjoy this video and you can show some love to Steven, drop a like on this video. It helps a ton. If you guys have questions, you guys have any future like topics that you want me and Steven to possibly discuss on the channel, drop those in the comments. All kinds of feedback, all kinds of support helps. And we can, continue to build this kind of content around you guys and what you guys want to hear, maybe what you guys want to talk about. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I really appreciate it, Steven.
Sounds good. Yeah, you covered everything. And I appreciate the time and letting, you having me on this call. It's just, I really appreciate it. It's amazing. Thank you.
There you guys have it. A full-blown interview talking about AI Creator Marketplace and discussing AI creators. The last few videos that I've been making about this topic, a lot of you are wondering, how is this possible? It's too good to be true. It just doesn't make any sense. And how can I start? I personally think that this is the next wave and I just want to be early to it. And I also want you guys to be early to it. And I don't want you to get scammed by any of the AI gurus out there. So if you've been wanting to get into this or you did get scammed by one of those gurus, I have a link down below. You can sign up for AI Creator Marketplace and you'll be able to keep 60% of the gross revenue that you generate for any of your creators on the platform. Last but not least, I also do have a free community for you guys to join. It's a free community. Steven's also in that community. I would highly advise that you guys do join the Telegram, as we do have people, members and roles in there, guys giving you guys support that you need, answering any questions or concerns that you may have about the platform, and helping you guys get onboarded. With that being said, if you did enjoy this video, please do me a huge favor, drop a like on the video. If you are new here, make sure you subscribe. We are on the way to 10K subscribers. And I want to take over this fucking industry. I mean, I am giving you guys everything for free. So I feel like it's the least I could ask for. And also, if you want to see any other videos revolving around AI OFM, around this platform, or any more interviews with Steven, drop down below what you want to see, the questions, the concerns, the feedback. I appreciate all of it. And I appreciate you guys checking in, checking out. I'll see you guys in the next video.